I'm gonna watch this blind just to see my first impression, and then kind of pause and talk halfway through and stuff. And want to see something that I wanted to speak on, I will. So let's start off looking at what team comp we have. Looks like we're gonna have a Ram Mirror, Widowmaker, of course, Junkrat. All right, let's see what they do.
What matters is that
Ready for bat 5.
Uh-oh. So only 5 seconds, and we're just now leaving spawn. Oh no.
4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
By this time, if I'm playing Ana,
Objective A.
I usually like to be up here in this little high ground. That way you're kind of out of sight lines, and they have to like really poke around the main choke to see you, especially since they got a Widow. I don't like playing the high ground. When I'm playing Hanzo, I definitely play the high ground right here to be shooting at the choke. But as Ana, you kind of just want to stay back here. You really don't need to be doing much damage with your roll. You've got a lot of guys that can put out a lot of damage. Like right here between the Junk and the Torbjorn and the Rom, you'll be putting out a ton of damage.
a sniper is nearby. Take cover.
So because you don't have that positioning already, I'm going to try to take us into third person real quick. So since you don't have this positioning up here, you know, if you were, say, back right here, you could be communicating with your Ram, say, back up, or, you know, ping him and say healing over here. So that way he knows to just take a little bit less aggressive angle. Because where you're at right now, it's a little bit, it's a little difficult. I never like being in direct view of the other team, like if I'm playing support hero, or playing Ana especially, because Ana's like my favorite support to play myself. So when you see this is kind of scary, right? Because you know that these guys are going to be coming around this corner. So I'd be telling our Ram right here just to get a little early poke in, but please back up if you want to get healed, because I don't want to put myself in a position where I'm dying. So you see what the Mercy did here, said fall back, you know, like that's the right call out. Like that's good awareness by your Mercy right here. I think that this Mercy's probably going to play pretty well based off that. Try to save these long cooldowns. These are so important that I try to save them for moments where I know that I'm going to hit them. Because there's really nothing more satisfying on Ana than, say, you hit a sleep dart, get a shot in on somebody, and then hit a grenade on like 3 people. Like it's chef kiss, and it makes you feel really confident going forward. Another thing too, I just want you to think about, because you're so close to them, with being so close like you are and trying to zoom in, because when you zoom in on Ana, it's immediately hit scan, right? And it's projectile when you're shooting it unscoped. If you're zoomed in like this, but you're back in that high ground position that I just mentioned, then it's a little bit easier and more forgiving, because think of it like this. See how the Ram's right here and he's inside of this triangle right here? Because Ana, that you get a little bit of leeway. So it's technically, if you're inside of this triangle on your scope, you will hit the shot. So it's easier to hit somebody if their whole body is a little bit more in the reticle, right? So if you're back up just a second ago, when you're trying to shoot this Junkrat a second ago, it looks like it's a little difficult because he's right next to you, right? Let's see right here. So Junk's going to get low, you try to heal him up, and it gets a little difficult because you're so close to him that it's hard to hit a shot, right? See that? So in that situation, if you're that close to somebody, unscope yourself and try to hit them with a body shot, just projectile wise, because you're like essentially sticking your gun right into them. Just something to think about, and it's easier, more time played, more awareness of where your teammates are in relation to you. It's a first person shooter game though, so you kind of just have to know where your teammates are in your head, like a little mental map of where they are.
I'll keep you up.
Cover. Sector net limit.
So another thing, the reason why this position is scary is because you not only are you exposed to the main danger over here, you know they have a Widowmaker just based on hearing the shots and seeing the kill feed and hell even pushing tab, but knowing that there's a little alcove over here to your left and that Widow is obviously about to try to come down and maybe do something. Maybe she doesn't, I'm not sure, I haven't seen this whole video. But if she does, it leaves you open for getting shot, and you're just out in the open so much. So even if you didn't want to take this high ground position up here, like I was talking about earlier, you could be down in this lower area right here, having this wall as cover. Using natural cover is one of the biggest reasons why I don't die as much as, say, our teammates sometimes do when we're playing. But when you do get shot at like that, you have just an extra layer of safety. This natural cover is something that a lot of people don't use to help them kind of extend their lives. You know, dying is the worst thing that you can do, pretty much. So staying alive no matter what, even if you're getting little value, you're still getting more value than you being dead.
It's just a scratch. You'll be fine.
This is a really good example of what I was just talking about a moment ago. So when this guy starts getting shot at, oh boy, these are all blacked out. When this guy gets shot at right here, he goes low HP, and you can see that your reticle isn't on him. He's just inside of the big reticle, the big triangle around it. He's not actually on your dot right here. See, like right here?
It's just
That's a nice shot.
You'll be fine.
And then right there, you weren't hitting him. So that's like a good advantage of her zoom in. And toward the end of this video, I'll show you good tech that you need to learn to really take your game if you want to get much better, that you're going to have to learn how to do.
That must sting. Hold on. Reloading.
This is something I see a lot. It happens to me too. People get excited. It's natural, especially when you're playing a hero that doesn't get a lot of kills. You get really excited, and you're like, "Oh my god, I just killed someone. Let me try to do something crazy again." And I'm sure you can see what we just saw. You hit like 3 or 4 shots into a shield right there, when you could have been maybe rotating it to the side because the Rom's dead. The shield's not going anywhere. You could have maybe rotated to the side to support your Ram a little bit better. It's just you just need to take the thought to yourself, like, is this actually what I need to be doing? Do I need to be shooting the shield right now, or should I just move on to what's more important, and that's supporting your tank right here, who's probably going to end up getting the kill on his own anyway, even without, because essentially you're not helping him one bit by not doing anything. You know, you could just instead support him like your Mercy's doing. Support him, and he'll take care of the danger in front of him. I mean, that Torb's not going to kill a full HP Ramatra. And I know you're going to shoot her, but when I'm playing support, first thing, my top priority at all times, pretty much, is supporting my other support. Because if one of you goes down, the role is just so important that the team will essentially cave if they have, like, so say our Mercy here dies, then that still puts them in a 4v4 with you being the only healer, but they've got 2 healers, one of which is about to have her ult come online. So if this character right here dies, your Mercy, then you all are going to fold. Like, that's your only option. And 5v5 is such a way that pretty much if one of the supports or the tank dies, the DPS has to go crazy, otherwise pretty much every team fight is lost at that point. In Overwatch 1, with it being 6v6 and having 2 tanks, it happened often, you would lose a teammate, but because there was still 5 guys, or still 5 players, you were able to turn the fight around. That's much more difficult in Overwatch 2 in my experience, unless, like, say, one of these characters just has a crazy play where, say, the Junkrat throws out a concussive mine that ends up getting 2 or something, you know, and it's very rare, or times where you have a Hanzo that gets 2 headshots back to back, and, you know, then the fight's salvageable at that point. But in a common game, truthfully, you lose a 5v4 pretty much, in my experience, like 70 to 80% of the time if the team capitalizes on that pick that they got. So that's just something to consider in the future.
Personne n'échappe à mon regard.
I've got you.
With that shot that you shot at the Mercy over here, people are going to start calling you a wall hacker like they call me.
Out of ammo. Into an end.
But think about where you're at right now. Because where you're at right now is so scary. The fact that it's just you and the tank right here. I mean, I know you got your support, your DPS right here, but even they're backing off. But now you've kind of like sandwiched yourself right here because they've got walls for another like 14 seconds. Now you're sandwiched between this choke and the choke right behind you over here. And you can't really do anything because if you try to scoot back and take this positioning back here again, then that Widow could probably just shoot you through the wall. Because, I mean, she's got walls up. So the stepping up right here was not the right choice. Just take a step back and try to create as much space in between you and their team as possible.
You're powered up. Get in there.
I think he was full HP. And on defense, I like to use Ana's ult more reactively if I see things. So say they haven't used anything yet. They used the Widow ult to get, just idea, get information, where you all are at. I would use this. So your Ram is going to ult here in a second. I'm pretty confident because he's been sitting on it for a little while. They're about to push. And I'm actually really disappointed that your Junkrat got nano and backed up because it's kind of just not using it. He's full HP. He should have stood in there and taken some shots. But using it that early in the fight, when they had no pressure on you or anything, it feels like it might be wasted. And he's also... So the only other thing that I can think of maybe would be use it on the Torbjorn to try to build ultimate. That makes sense? Because otherwise he's not going to get too much value out of this. What I would have done is waited for them to make a hard commitment to pushing in. And once they did, then you can reactively give nano to your Ramatra, and he'll get more done with it, especially if his is antied and starting to run out, like if he's getting spaced out and not able to have his ult around someone to keep it going. And this guy could have done a lot of work if he had that nano. It's a really good sleep, I just wanted to tell you that.
Fortified.
However, I do not like the use of the nade immediately because he was only asleep for a second, and you've got like what 2.5, 3 seconds until they stand back up. I can't remember what it is anymore. I haven't played Ana in a long time. But what I would recommend in this situation is letting that duration ride out because your Ram here has already committed to taking the fight in a different direction. He's shooting the floor right here. That's pretty funny. But he's taking the fight, his attention's away from this, so by waking him up immediately here, your Ram is being in a spot where it's 1v3 right here, and that's not where he wants to be. Because in his mind, this Ram should be slept behind him for a little while. He's got a couple of seconds to say, okay, well, I can get some punches in right here before I have to turn my attention back to the bigger threat. And then he immediately got cleansed anyway, so essentially the long cooldown, was it 14 seconds nade? A big part of your kit is now on a long cooldown. So now he's going to come back and re-engage, and this might be where we all lose the fight.
I'm under attack.
See, now this would have been the perfect moment when things are looking a little more grim to give this nano over to your Ramatra right here. And this would have also been a good situation, like once again, it's you and the tank. This is not a position you really want to be in unless it's just you two left alive. Because you're going to be the focus of a lot of damage and a lot of attention where you're sitting at. If you were back over here under that cafe or whatever, you'd be in a much better position to support your tank without putting yourself in harm's way.
Happy to assist.
High power machine.
Thank you, Torbjorn. This is a little bit unlucky because you thought that this was done immediately as soon as the Ram died. And I can understand the thought process because you definitely thought, okay, well, the Ram's dead, we're done, right? Let's get the fuck out of here. But your Mercy pops ult and goes in and gets a really kind of big res right here. And if you had just ducked back in here instead of falling back to get the health pack, you might have been able to keep these guys alive instead of running and keeping yourself alive.
Stand up straight.
Enemy turret ahead. Watch it.
You're just getting too excited right here. You see he's low HP and you got really excited because you wanted to secure the kill. What I'd recommend is just try to still focus on helping out your Ramacha right here. And after he pops this shield right here to get himself a little bit more over health, this is when I would have been using my cooldowns to try to take him out of the fight.
Enemy turret neutralized.
You will feel. أنا ما حدش يقدر عليا.
This was all good. It just feels a little too late. You know, it's the problem with making decisions like this is it's easy for me to say, you know, I've played the game for thousands of hours, so I understand kind of the flow and the ebb of what's about to happen. I can see it before it's going to happen, you know, and that just comes with anything. Essentially, it's practice, right? So seeing that you did all of the right things, but like 3 or 4 seconds too late is one that you'll feel good about yourself. But it's using that split decision to say, this is what I'm gonna do, this isn't what I'm gonna think I'm gonna do. You know what I mean? It takes a while. It takes a long time to get to that point, but with more practice you can see the way the game's unfolding and know that, especially if you've played against these people for, like, if this is a competitive match, you can kind of get to understand how these people use their ults, how they react to situations. You can kind of counter that by being the one to make the first move before they do it. It's good to be. It's almost a mind game of knowing what to do and then executing it, but not second guessing yourself. Like the turning around and going back for the health pack and everything just shows indecision, that you weren't confident that you had read the situation right, when in reality you completely had. You just didn't trust your instincts to make the play that was the winning play. So then unfortunately I don't see a way that you all are going to get back into this, even though you all have the kill, because they have both healers alive on point, even though their DPS is dead with their tank. So this is, in my opinion, this is probably going to be a take right here. Like I said, I haven't seen the VOD though. I don't mind you dying on point, because in your head you're thinking, well, this is done too, right? Like this is fucked. We're done. This isn't going to go anywhere. Hello, kitty cat. Meow. And it's kind of sad, because this would be one of those situations where if you're playing with somebody that clutches crazy, this could be winnable, right? But I don't have a feeling that Junkrat's going to get it done. Your poor Mercy's doing everything she can, though.
لسه قدامي كتير.
When I'm coming back off respawn for this point, as Ana, this point's lost. So I hate this sightline right here, especially if you're playing the squishy that can get one shot. And like I said, I play Hanzo. So when I'm on attack right here, I come in, I spam this hallway right here, and I can't tell you how many times I get a crazy headshot, lucky, you call it whatever you want to, shooting logs. But I'll get a headshot right here, and then that just resets these people's, you know, cooldown and timer, death timer, to they're all the way back at spawn over here. That's a long way to walk and a lot of cart progress. So just something scary to think about. I would usually take this little right angle right here, or maybe even take the escalator to get the high ground, honestly. But with them still playing the Widowmaker, I don't know if I'd really want the high ground, because this is where she's going to really be a menace in the open part of the map. Yeah, I would not even be getting anywhere close to that cafe. I would just immediately be backing off. I'd be setting up shop somewhere in this area, or maybe even, like I said, the elevator high ground right here, but it's a little scary. But I haven't really seen the Widowmaker do too much, so I don't know if I'd be that scared of her.
I won't let you fall. Better with age.
The beauty about playing support like this is when someone is because these guys look indecisive right now too, because they're kind of like, damn, what do we do? You can tell them, hey guys, that point's gone, let's back off. When I'm playing DPS, I don't communicate as much because I'm using most of my brain power to, frankly, to aim and consider what's going on around me. But playing support, your aim is still important, of course, naturally, but you're supposed to be a little bit further back so you can see a bigger picture of what's happening. And the bigger picture right here is you all need to back the fuck off, because this just looks like it's going to be staggered deaths, and that's what's about to happen considering you just lost one of your big damage dealers.
Reloading.
That was unlucky. That was a really close sleep dart.
I'm here. Keep fighting.
But say you had called for everyone to take high ground earlier, your Junkrat could just spam with relative safety, honestly, from the high ground here. Torbjorn could have put up a turret, and you all had this very defensible bunker with your Ramatra where you can put a shield up, and y'all could even get some cheeky poke in. I mean, I've seen plenty of times where you get headshot by a Torbjorn and it just stops the push, you know? If he gets off a good shot long distance on this Widow, I'm pretty sure he doesn't have fall-off damage. So that could just be something you all could end up having them stuck here for 3 minutes, maybe 4. Maybe they don't get past this little archway. Let's just make those calls out and feel confident in it. And if the team doesn't want to do it, then you can just keep pinging like, up here, I'm going in, up here. Try to make them understand that your thought process is we need to take a defensible position, because down here was not defensible at all.
I remember this feeling. Feeling fortified.
This is now that the fight, this is pretty much over. If you were, I don't know, I don't think I could do it. This is one that y'all are gonna have to die and reset. I was gonna say maybe ult him to get his ult up, but this is a bad position right here. I think y'all should just die and reset.
You're powered up. Get in there. The Eye of Horus watches over.
So, what I thought about saying is actually what ended up happening. And him getting this kill right here is huge. Hopefully this guy doesn't pop his ult and just kind of turn it back on you all, because you're committing 2 right now currently, and they're committing 1, 2. So, honestly, if he uses his ult and you all still lose, this is a net positive for you all. That's really funny. That's all I'm gonna say. It was really funny.
I'm on fire!
Our lasers are alive!
You'll have to try harder than that.
I like the switch to. I like what your tank is thinking about here. I like the switch, especially with this high ground access and everything. The D.Va being able to contest high ground right here is going to be big, and they're playing. In my mind, I consider Tor mid to long range, and Widow's clearly long range. With this, she can kite really well on the Ramatra. Go in, take a little bit of damage, get in his face a bit, fly back out, get healed up by you, and let her take a lot of initiative going way farther ahead than you are, because she can fly back and get out of danger pretty much at will if she's not feeding. So we'll see how this goes, but I like the swap.
Personne n'échappe à mon regard.
This is an easy call out to think about. Tell your team walls down at 315. You know, that gives everyone a good, just being mindful. As soon as you hear that personne n'échappe à mon regard, which means I've got you in my sights, you can just look up at the timer and immediately take 15 seconds off and tell the team when that cooldown is going to be done. Nice replying to a message.
Sniper!
A little scared right here. Not doing much.
There's much for you to do.
Actions per minute are going to hell. This fight's lost.
On the payload. Let's get them.
Yeah, you shouldn't have walked out after that. I would have just looked at the kill feed and said, oops, I was AFK. Time to run. Don't get shot in the back of the head. Nice, we got out of there. Then you just have to wait for your team to regroup. At this point, I'd probably be telling him don't go out bottom left. That's not accessible. This fight's probably gonna lose you all the point right here, actually. It's really unfortunate because of that fight. You all didn't actually get to utilize the utility of the diva because you all conceded every bit of, like, I'm pretty sure when you all lost that fight, the cart was right here maybe, and through that time they were pushing 3 on cart and got it all the way here. So you all are only 2 meters away from losing this point. That's when you tell your diva, get out, get out, get out. We're gonna reset and try to hold the corner over here instead. Now your diva's out of mech, probably gonna die pretty quick. This guy has slept, but he's gonna get back into the fight. I mean, just in a second or two. This fight's over. This is a little micro play, but taking that health pack when you're on almost full HP, you could have saved that for somebody else. I think you took the perk that headshots too, and that's hilarious.
Taking care of you.
Look, I've got pretty good aim. Don't get me wrong. I've got pretty good aim, and even I don't take the headshot one because I'm not ML7. I can get headshots, but my primary goal as Ana isn't to be getting kills. My primary goal is to be keeping the team alive and providing the utility of my kit to use things to enable other people. I am not giving a shit about my KD outside of staying alive. So a game like this, you all have I think you've only died a couple of times, but in a game like this, I'd like to keep my deaths down to maybe 2 or 3 at most, you know. Trying to just staying alive, doing as much as possible, getting your actions per minute up. I don't know, if you ever watch a replay of what I'm doing, watching my gameplay, I am like pushing T to tag things. I'm constantly moving my hands, strafing back and forth, because it kind of keeps you fresh and on edge. And so you don't have downtime in between what you're doing, because with that downtime, it creates more indecision, frankly. So trying to just constantly be doing something and being proactive, that's just good advice in general.
You need this. You're powered up. Get in there.
Alright, this had to have been a call from the Mercy to nano me, because I can't see the thought process behind it otherwise.
The Eye of Horus watches over you. Need to reload.
That's a great ante right there. I like that a lot. Don't like Diva recommitting right there. That was a little boneheaded. I don't like the contesting of the Widow there, but then again, this is very clearly not the level where peeking your head out is an automatic death sentence against a Widowmaker. It's just after playing with people that can literally just, if you see somebody for a millisecond, your head gets popped off, you kind of just learn that this isn't a route that I'm going to take and I'm not going to even bother with. Like I said, your goal is to stay alive. Putting yourself in harm's way at any point is completely counterintuitive to what your primary goal is. And I know. Everyone will say, well, it's not healer, it's support. I wholeheartedly agree with that, but it depends on what support you're playing. You know, like, if you're playing Zenyatta, you're primarily trying to do both. You want to damage and do healing. Most of your healing is going to come through great uses of Transcendence. But playing Ana, most of your damage is going to be, in my experience, for me, most of my damage comes when I don't have a teammate to shoot at, and I'm trying to get like a little cheeky poke or something. But in a situation like this, just back off and then let your teammates soak up a little damage. Tell them, you could even tell Diva, like, take a little extra damage. I'm trying to rebuild Nano right here. That way you can have your ultimate up, because this game really revolves around little micro plays and use of ultimates and cycling through them. Like, this team's doing a pretty good job of it right now, so if I was them, I'd be popping walls next to see where we are. And then after that, I would try to get healed up and re-engage with Kasumi Rush is what I would be doing. And the only counter that you all have currently is going to be a Tor Bolt. And that can be a very good counter to what they're going to try to do right here. So let's see how this plays out. Absolutely zero reason to ever be right here. I know that you're probably just having fun. It's quick play. I get that. But for the sake of trying to get better, this is a big no-no. If I saw someone doing this in a comp game, or hell, even in my quick play games, I'm not going to say anything because, you know, whatever, I don't care that much. But I'd be thinking to myself, well, that's just feeding right there.
Not enough. You won't regret it.
But you can laugh after saying, haha, I got to sleep on the Torb, lol, 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 you know. And no, you don't have any harm here, but if you're playing against people, I think, hell, even Diamond and up, I mean, the player base has gotten so much better over the last almost decade of playing that they're going to recognize that and see, like, what the hell is this Ana do? Engage on her. Let's kill her. What's she doing? The diva's out of mech. We can just do whatever we want, right? Alright, there's the walls. Like I said, it's coming up right now. So I'm guessing that they're going to Kasumi right after this. Actually, she's out of position pretty badly right here. So maybe not, but they might Tor Bolt right here. But Torb, as soon as he hears Kasumi Rush, he needs to drop his ult right here. But the diva being out of mech right here and being down Junkrat, this is a pretty bad state to be in.
Setting out the welcome mat.
I have you. Keep fighting.
No one can withstand me.
Kind of funny how the Widowmaker died to that. She should have not been in that positioning. And I think that he could have held on to this a little bit longer to maybe get back, maybe a little more reactive instead of proactive from his ult here. But I like your positioning a lot more. You see how much distance is between you and any available danger right now? This is much better. Like, because of where you're at, the only thing that could contest you, and she's dead now, would be the Widow maybe coming on a flank right here through this doorway. But because of the positioning, you don't really have too much to worry about. You can just sit in and scope and fire without being scared that you're going to get your head taken off. I don't like the moving. So I know what you're doing. You're moving back up to support your diva, but it's in this situation because diva, and especially playing tank, this goes for pretty much every tank except for maybe ball where you're in third person mode. You can't get a real understanding of where your supports and where your damage is because you're looking at four or five guys in front of you, right? So those people are in front of you, and you have to rely on your teammates to tell you, hey, back up, back up, back up, we're not there with you. I can't give you healing because there's a big fucking wall right here. Please back up, hold this corner. If you hold this corner and poke, that's perfectly fine, but I can't heal you through the fucking wall.
Activating self-destruct sequence.
Covering you.
So she had to use ult to get back in mech, right? Like, or wait, is that what just happened? I kind of spaced out for a second.
Turning up the heat.
Yeah.
Covering you.
See how far you had to put yourself in position just to get off that nade? Because you put yourself in that position, you don't have that nade, or you use that nade, you don't have it to save your diva who's about to go out of mech, and y'all are about to fold right here, and the Kasumi Rush is coming on, so y'all are screwed right here. Even with the Mercy ult, I don't think it's going to be enough.
What's one more kill?
The double headshot onto the Widow is hilarious. Maybe I'm playing the wrong perks when I play Ana, I don't know. But that was really funny, but that cheeky kill coming out, y'all are up 2. I don't know, y'all might turn this around, but with the Ram ult, and also the Molten Core, I just still see this as probably being a loss.
Hold on, reloading.
Well, hang on. Well, no, Junkrat's about to die. This is a regular clown fiesta that it's fun to watch, but they should have in no way, shape, or form lost this fight. And it's impressive that you all ended up winning this one. The diva should have definitely been completely out of this.
ازيك؟
What's in?
You've kind of trapped yourself now. Think about where you're at. Because you were trying to get some healing onto your diva and trying to get some shots in on the Widow, you rotated over far, way too much. So now you're trapped with either a sight line here that is going to put you in harm's way, or going back to this sight line to your left, that'll put you in harm's way again. If you would have just stayed on that left side and rotated back further left around the payload, you would have been in a better position to heal.
Helden sterben nicht.
And see, being a player that knows the maps and knows how long it takes people, I can't tell you how many times I've played Hanzo, and I'm shooting at someone that's right here, and I'm in my head, I can calculate how long it'll take them to walk back over here like you're currently doing, and how many times I've got an arrow already shooting right here, and they walk into it, and they get belligerently mad. It's not hacking. It's not being spamming or anything. It's just knowing where someone's going to be based on human, just what we do as people. Because what you're trying to do is get back to your team, of course, right? But I can guarantee if we look down this Widow's sight lines, I'm just curious. If it was me, I'd be aiming right here immediately. He might be already tracking the Mercy. What I'd be doing is I'd be tracking you through the wall, trying to see and predict when you're about to pop your head out. So let's see where he is. So he hasn't made the full commitment yet, which frankly explains a lot. I'm curious if he's going to decide to make the move over. He did, but it was far too late. Far too late, shooting a diva. Okay, well, no harm, no foul there. It's just something scary to think about.
I needed that. This will cut the pain. You're powered up. Get in there.
So I see this as a meme game. Heard that.
Forest watches over you. I won't let you fall.
Unlucky you didn't get any value out of that nade right there. But those shots you're shooting at the Torb and everyone else, trying to shoot them and everything, just try to heal your team a little bit more. If you want to get like 1 or 2 shots off, that's fine. But just try to get back to healing them as soon as possible. Especially, I mean, she's already down on that. Like the Nano ended up netting you all maybe, what, 20-30% of Mercy ult charge, which it could be good. But if you all want to meme and do that, what I would do, and like I said, this is literally all meming, I would wait until she had Valkyrie and then nano her so that she'd have unlimited bullets on her gun and fly in, take out the Widowmaker, and then come back and heal her team, or whatever she wants to do, honestly. Just giving that little bit of extra. If y'all are going to have fun with it, do it the way that optimizes the fun. See, this positioning's scary too, because it's the same thing we were saying earlier. Like, you have these sightlines right here. I don't like ever having someone the opportunity. Like, most of my damage that I'm doing on Ana is either people running away from me or I have no other option, right? I'm not looking for kills. If it presents itself, I'm going to shoot them, right? But if it's not presenting itself, I'm not going looking for it. It's just a matter of thinking, maybe reconsidering what your overall goal as the character that you're playing is supposed to be doing. What is my job in the current moment that I need to be doing? Is it damage? Not necessarily. I should be making sure that my teammates don't die, right? Because if they're alive, I'm alive, and if we're all alive, we aren't losing the fight.
Enemy turret ahead. I'm popping up. Enemy turret just blew up.
Personne n'échappe à mon regard.
They have walls until 105. Easy call out. She obviously knows you're there. You obviously know that she's there. That's when you just say, well, I'm kind of screwed. I'm kind of shoehorned into this back little alley where I have no sightlines on any of my teammates, and I got sightlines on 4 of theirs. That Mercy. That was a good shot. I can't even be mad.
We all die, eventually.
Little low IQ from the Widow.
I've got you.
انتوا أمل.
أنا ما حدش يقدر عليا. وقت النوم.
Really good sleep. I like saving it for moments just like that. I try not to use my sleep dart unless it's trying to shut down someone that's making their play, because that's the most satisfying part of Ana's kit, frankly. Getting kills does not give you the same high, in my experience, that shutting someone else's game does. Like when a Genji blades and you sleep it, oh, there's no better feeling on the planet, right? Killing the Mercy, yeah, that's fun, but she'll just come back and get a res off, and then you all are back in the same position you were, because she didn't use any ultimates or anything. She just died in the neutral game. Shutting down the ROM there really is a game-winning type of play. You want to make those types of plays, because at the end of the day, I've played games where the enemy team absolutely stomped us. Like, I'm talking like hardly any kills to a lot of kills. But guess what? We moved the payload further. We focused on shutting down people and making the winning plays, and doing that, you'll end up getting more wins in the long term if you're playing that kind of macro game, you know, like the big picture of what you want to be doing. At the end of the day, your KD doesn't matter, nothing else matters. Winning is the primary goal at any moment. Plenty of times where I've been in Grandmaster lobbies, top 500 lobbies, where somebody is going absolutely insane. You just can't do anything about it. Some people are good at this game as well. You're not going to be the only person to have a good game every now and then. Other people are going to pop off. It's just like professionals. It's like any sport, frankly. And what you're trying to do is work as a team unit to achieve that ultimate goal of winning the game, and instead of playing for fun. Well, that's not the right word. I play for fun, but the overall goal is to win, and by winning the game, you have more fun. So that's what I focus on the most when I'm playing any game. I want to get better individually and work on the things that I've thought about, but it's hard to work on those winning plays if you're not focused on winning.
On my way.
Hilda.
They're pushing the payload. Stop them.
I like the nade right there. I probably wouldn't have gone back for that, because I would have just said, okay, well, that was a cheeky, nice little play. I'm going to run back to my team as soon as possible. And I'm really hoping that their clairvoyance is a little low, because I don't know. This might be an overplay from you, considering how isolated you are. Their team has no awareness. You're going to get out right here.
I make quick work of them.
I'm hotter than a furnace!
In that time that you re-engaged and everything, it gave a chance for the Widow to come up here and shoot you. And based on how much time left in the game, I'm going to say that that's the first domino to fall, and without you on the map, the res right here burned. 2 ults that can be kited pretty well. This is probably going to be done. And that's it. You got a teabagging ROM on point. Alright, now that I've given you a little talk through everything, I'm going to show you something that I didn't see you do once during that whole gameplay experience. I'm going to show you probably the most important tech you need to learn on Ana, which is one of my favorites to teach. You need to learn how to do what I just did there. You need to learn how to quick scope. So you see what I'm doing? I'm loading in and I'm firing a hit scan bullet. So here's a little advice too, just in general. When you're shooting like this and it's projectile, you can't see the projectile like enemies can't. When you shoot a hit scan bullet through your reticle like that, it has a trailer behind it. That's how they can kind of balance Ana a little bit more. See that trailer that's coming out when I shoot? That trailer is letting people know that I'm zoomed in and scoped from an angle where you probably can't see me, but it gives information. So in a situation where you have a low HP target like this and you really need to heal them, so say you're back here and you don't want the flight time, because flight time can sometimes lead to them dying. What you need to practice is zooming in and it's like a millisecond between zooming in and firing. That way you can get that bullet there immediately. See how slow it takes? One Mississippi. See, sorry, you don't even have a chance. It's the difference of I'm healing this guy back up without even having a chance. And you can do it for damage as well. So like, usually what I'll do is like, say I'm in a situation like this and I come around a corner, I'm like, oh shit, you know, you do that. If you do something like that, you can save your teammates a lot. This is a matter of practicing this. You want to do this a lot.
Don't fret. I see you.
I like to sit in the practice range and do stuff like this if I'm like warming up to play Ana, which isn't as much these days because I play predominantly Hanzo, you know. But if I'm trying to warm up, I try to go around corners and practice my like corner peeking flight times, trying to figure out what's the ideal way of doing it.
Covering you.
Knowing when to do that quick scope too, because it could be the difference. Like there's plenty of times, you know, you have the enemy tank, or it could be like you're getting dove by a tracer or something, your teammate is, and they're down to like super low HP, but you hit them with one of those, you see that, gets right back up. You know, and you could save them in that crucial 1v1. Like that guy's living right there because I hit him with just a little bit of healing. And even if like it's like your dying thing, you know, if you're getting pressured out, somebody's riding your ass, you can hit somebody with a quick shot, maybe hit them with a nade, and boom, you're right back in it. You might die for the cause, but your teammate might be able to help out. And I think that's about all, though. It's just, these are things to consider, and if you really want to get good at Ana, you have to learn how to do the quick scope. It's like using, back in the day, it's not a thing anymore because I think they made it easier for people to do, but the Mercy tech where you'd fly over and super bounce up, this is essentially the same kind of tech that is like necessary. If you don't have this tech in your arsenal, then you're not going to be able to take your game to the next level. This is something that every Ana player in GM, Top 500, probably hit Masters, Diamond, I would imagine, they're doing this. You have to. And it's a matter of just getting good at it. Because usually, when I'm seeing you play, you're sitting here like this, or doing, you know, you're just sitting there shooting at them. And then when you go to scope in, you're scoped in for a long time. What I like to do is just throw in, like, especially against enemies, because it'll get there so quick. Comparatively, being hit scan versus being projectile, the time that it takes, and especially for long range, that's the bigger thing. Like, let's say 40 meters right here. See how long that takes? But compared to that, it's a difference in killing someone and not. It's a difference in saving someone or not. And then usually, if I come around the corner and do that, then I'll stay scoped in for a moment, get them back to full HP, and then redirect my attention to something else. But yeah, that's all I got. Hopefully you enjoy the review, dude. If you want me to do some more for you, I will. But good luck, and I'll try to get this to you as soon as possible.